Okay, let's start the lesson. Hi everyone, my name is Victor. Okay, so today we are going to do a mid-year revision for the principles of account. So let me share with you a little bit about myself. My name is Victor. I'm an ex-MYE teacher for close to 10 years already. Wait, Yeah, okay, can. So I'm familiar with the current syllabus. And for the POA, right, you will have the new syllabus in 2021. So actually, you're the second batch of students taking the new syllabus. I'm currently experienced in both Express and the NA students. I've been teaching both Sec 3, Sec 4, Express and NA students over the past 10 years. And I've taught more than 1,000 students. For me, for my classes, I always have high distinction rates. So I hope that we can work together to achieve your grade that you want to get. So before I start, actually this session can be both for Sec 3 and Sec 4. It's a very common question that is tested. Some of you may be wondering what is POA about? Is it the right subject for me? POA is actually quite simple because it involves with our day-to-day life. For example, we have pocket money, we use the money to buy food, to take bus, to travel. So actually POA is very related to our life. And some of our students think that, actually POA can be done, it's doable. So some students may realize, perhaps due to they miss class or maybe the teachers have a different strategy of teaching it, find it very difficult to learn POA. So for me, I always try to simplify the POA concepts so that my students can understand me and they are able to do very well. Okay, and you can of course apply this in your life in future. So for those of you who want to start a business, or you are very entrepreneurial, you want to know how much money, how much profit you can make in the future, I think this subject is actually very useful to you. So there are some tips for those students here. So number one, of course, you can go to the Overmark website to download resources. I prepare some summary slides for each chapter from chapter 1 to chapter 9. The second tip for you is that you can actually create your own notes, one-page summary for each chapter. So this will can help into enhance your learning. And of course, number 3 is to practice the questions. You can either do the workbook questions or questions given by your school. If not, if let's say you are under me, I'll also be providing you with a lot of different kind of worksheets that you can do.
Doing POA FAQ.
Will I send notes to the Telegram group chat? Yes, I will. Can? So you can either download it from the website, and I also will send the notes through the Telegram later, either tomorrow or this weekend. So for today's lesson, right, is for a revision for mid-year. I'm going to go through one Sec 3 topic and one Sec 4 topic. So if you are in Sec 3, you may skip the second part of the lesson. But of course, if you are interested to know what the Sec 4 will be learning, you can stay on behind. For the Sec 4 topics, Sec 4 students who are joining for today's lesson, you can also pay attention to this topic for journals and ledger because it's always commonly tested for both in school and also in the national exams. Okay, so let's start with the lesson. Let's think about it. What is a business for? Why do we need to study POA? POA is all about business, correct or not? So a business have two kinds of transaction. The cash transaction and credit transaction. So you can see for cash transactions, right? It's like, for example, you go to McDonald's and then you buy, for example, a filet fish burger meal. So you pay cash, you pay $10, you get a change. So payment is made at the same time during the sale or purchase. So actually these notes, right, are actually from the PowerPoint slides that I prepared. Yeah, so all these will be given to you. So I'll only extract all the important points for my today lesson. How about a credit transaction? So for a credit transaction is where you buy the thing now, but you don't pay at all, right? So students at your age, you don't really have a credit card, you may not understand what how credit works. So for example, like your parents, they have a credit card, then they use the card to swipe. So they want to buy a TV, $2,000, or a laptop, $2,000. Then you don't bring cash and pay cash at the at the business, at the company side, right? So no one carries $2,000 worth of cash in their wallet. So you can use a credit card to pay. So when you use a credit card to pay, you buy the thing now, but actually you don't need to pay now. So when you pay, you can pay 1 month later, that kind of thing, depending on your credit card. Yeah, depends on your credit card. So the main difference between a cash and credit transaction is the timing of the payment. Okay, so this is very important for today's lesson because later we're going to do what is a cash payment, what is a credit payment. So you need to understand the difference between a cash and credit transaction. And even though this is very simple or very straightforward, most schools, they don't really emphasize on this. But for my lesson, I'll emphasize on this because it's very important. The difference between paying now and paying later. So this is a small summary of what you learn in Sec 3. Yeah, there's debit and credit. So for asset, expense, and drawings is debit, and liability, capital, and income is credit. So during my lesson, sometimes I use Alice to explain why it's debit and credit. But for the sake of today's lesson, we just use this simple example. Okay, so this is extracted from my notes also. So how do they make money? Let's think about it. How can a business make money? For example, let's say you are selling clothes, you like to buy clothes. You go to a shopping center, buy and sell clothes. So the business needs to buy the clothes first, correct? So you need to buy the goods. So there are many different kind of businesses. Okay, I make sure that the rest are all muted again. Okay, so different businesses buy and sell different goods. So a clothes shop will buy and sell clothes, while a bookshop will buy and sell books. So there are different kind of businesses, but they all buy and sell things, correct? So these goods are called inventory. So just now in my earlier slide, I mentioned that there are two kinds of different transaction. One is a cash transaction and one is a credit transaction. So when you buy goods and you pay cash, so you debit inventory and credit cash at bank. This is a journal entry that you need to know, right? And then if let's say the goods are spoiled and then you need to return the goods, then you return your goods back to your supplier. That will be debit cash at bank and credit inventory. So the second type of business transaction is where it's a credit transaction. So you buy now, but you pay in the future. So when you pay in the future, you owe your supplier money. Okay, I repeat, when you buy on credit, you owe your supplier money. So when you owe your supplier money, it's a liability. So it's a credit. Okay, so that's why you went through the first part. You need to know what is debit, what is credit. So asset is debit, liability is credit. So in this second scenario, where it's a credit transaction, the business can buy goods. So they receive the goods now, but they don't have to pay the supplier now. They can pay the supplier 1 month later or 2 weeks later. Okay, so you credit trade payable, and then when you return the goods, the journal entry is reversed. So for a credit transaction, there's one more journal. So you buy already, right? So 1 month later, you need to pay for the goods. So you buy $200 worth of books. Then after that, you need to pay the supplier this $200. So when you make the payment, you debit your liability and you credit your cash at bank. So you minus off the money from your bank account. All right, so I think this is quite straightforward, right? You buy goods, there are two different kinds of transactions. One is a cash transaction, the other one is a credit transaction. Then what do you think the business do with the goods? You sell it away, correct or not? So same thing, there's a cash transaction and there's a credit transaction. So for a cash transaction, you sell the goods, you record it as a sales revenue. So I buy it $200. Okay, so using the previous same example, I buy it $200 and then I sell it for $500. That's how business make money, right? They buy cheaper and then they sell to your customer at a higher price. So I sell it at $500. This $500 is my sales revenue. So if I sell it to you as my customer, I receive the money now, I'll debit my cash at bank because you are going to pay me. You pay me, I receive the money now, and I record it as an income, sales revenue. So you also know that I buy it for $200. That is my cost price, correct? So I think you heard of it in math before: cost price, selling price, and profit. So in this case, we need to record the $200 is considered as a cost of sales. So cost of sales is an expense. Wait, let me see. Okay, let's continue. So when you sell the goods, right, you receive the money, and then after that, the $500 is your income, and then your $200 is your inventory. So here $500, $500, then here $200, $200. So from here, you can see that what's my profit? My profit is $300, correct? So I sell at $500, I buy at $200. So this is a cash transaction. I receive the money now. Then remember, there's also another second type of business transaction where you sell the goods on credit, where it's a credit transaction. So for credit transaction, you sell the goods to your customer, but you don't get the money now. Okay, you get your money only in the future. So it's called a trade receivables. So same thing, let's say you sell for 500, you record it, and then the cost of sales 200. So you take a look, the only difference is here, cash at bank, and the trade receivables. Okay, the other three is the same. Here's the same, here's the same, and here's the same. So even though it's a cash transaction or credit transaction, you don't have to remember different journals. You just need to remember what is applicable to them. From then on, you realize that, hey, actually all the journal will keep repeating itself again and again. Okay? Same thing when your customer return goods to you is a sales return. Then after that, you must credit off your trade receivables. And there's a third transaction where your customer pay you. So when you receive money from your customer, you record the debit cash at bank, credit trade receivable. So far it's quite simple, right? Hey, wow, POA, you just buy and sell goods. But that's what we do. You think about it, no matter what kind of business you are, all business is to make money, correct? So you want to make money, how do you make money? Maybe when I was teaching last time, I have this student, right? He buy and sell those shoes. I think basketball shoes or what. So he bought it for example, $200, and it's a rare limited edition. And then he sell it on Carousel. He can sell it for $1,000. I tell you, I was very impressed by him. Yeah. So by learning actually this buying and selling of goods and all these transactions, right, you can actually calculate how much profit the person made. Of course, you don't have to do POA to record, because he said he buy for 200 and then he sell for $1,000. So he earned $800. Quite straightforward. Right? But if you do it on a day-to-day basis, because I don't want, for example, you want to start a business, you don't want to sell one good only, right? You want to sell many goods to many different people. So when you want to sell many different goods to many different people, then you need to have a system on how to record how much money you earn and how much expenses you spend. to know whether you're making a profit or not. Okay, so far, this is the basic thing about accounting. You need to buy goods and you need to sell goods. Okay, so this is chapter 4 on journal entry. Then you can ask me, wow, POA so easy. Then you sure or not? Will it come out for the national exams? To be honest, right? These are the questions that come out last year in 2021, N-level and O-level paper. And so let me just show you an example. So this is last year paper, okay? 2021, last year in October, November. This is the question. So I give you 2 minutes to take a look at the question, then maybe we can do it together and I'll guide you through how to do this question. Okay, I'll read the question for you. Raymond purchases goods on credit from Ting. So we need to know who is who, the business. We need to know who the business is, who is the boss, okay? And the question say the following information relates to Ting's account in the ledger of Raymond business. So this is the business. Okay, when you identify that, then you'll be able to do the question. So the business buy goods from Ting. So who do you buy it from? You buy from your supplier. Okay? So you buy goods from your supplier. So this goes back to this part. So there's only the cash transaction and the credit transaction. Correct or not? Because there are only 2 kinds of transaction. How many ways can you buy goods? No, not many ways. You only can buy using cash and using credit. So the next thing is, how do we know it's on cash or on credit? So we need to read the question again. Did the question say the company buy on cash or on credit? So here they say they buy goods on credit. So now you know it's a credit transaction. Right. So if you know just now what I went through with you, which is this part, then you'll be looking here, credit transaction. So this question come up for your national exams, right? Buy goods, sell goods. Then you need to know the journal entry related to your buying goods and selling goods. So you need to know 3 lah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And all 3 of them came out. So you see now Raymond buy goods from Ting for $2,160. Right. So you buy goods, you debit inventory 2160 and credit trade payable. So when you write trade payable, you must write the name of the supplier. So in this case, the supplier is Ting. Right, that will be the journal. That will be usually 2 marks. Then Raymond returned goods to Ting because he's 40, right? So that's what we also went through just now. So your business have to return the goods because it's either spoiled or damaged. So the journal entry is reversed. So now you debit trade payable. Ting and credit your inventory. 180, 180. Correct? Then what's the only transaction that can happen? You need to pay your supplier, correct or not? So now you pay by bank transfer. And you go up again, based on my notes. Yeah, you pay the goods, right? You pay the goods, debit, trade payable, credit, cash at bank. So debit, trade payable, same thing, right thing. So bank transfer means you use cash at bank. So you credit your cash at bank. 3,000, 3,000. So this is how you prepare the journal entry for the transaction where the business buy goods on credit, right? So that's why at the start of today's lesson, I mentioned there are 2 kinds of transaction, cash transaction and credit transaction. If you record it wrongly, then all your answers will be wrong. So it's very important to know whether it's a cash or credit transaction. So this is a journal entry. Then of course, the second part will be to prepare the ledger. So I'll just show you the answer on the next slide. So this is a journal which I already written off earlier. And these are things that I went through, I covered at the start of today's lesson. You need to write the date, you need to write the particulars and debit and credit. So the numbers you just follow from the question directly lah. There's no change. 2160, then here will be 2160. Here is 180. The second journal is 180. The third one is 3000. The third number is also 3000. Okay. So due to the shortage of time, I won't be going through the ledger, prepare things account. So the second part of the here is the question asks you to prepare the ledger. This is the ledger account. So I have a very good strategy to prepare the ledger account. So you can come and join my class to find out how you can prepare the ledger account. So this is the answer for the same question. I repeat, this is from 2021 N-level paper, POA. This is the new syllabus. Okay. So this is the ledger account. And then say, oh yeah, N-level very easy. How about O-level? O-level will be more difficult. My answer to you is not really. I mean, a business can only buy and sell goods. They can only test you buy goods and sell goods. They cannot test you any other stuff. Okay, for this transaction. For 2021, O-level also came out. So this is the question. All right. So this question, Ruth sells goods to Joel on credit. She allows Joel a trade discount of 5% on all purchases and a cash discount of 2% if invoices are paid within 15 days. All right. So even though it's an O-level question, right, you notice that it's the same thing. You buy goods, you sell goods. Okay. And the question asks you prepare journal entries. Look, how many marks? It is 8 marks, you know. This question is like a 10 mark total, 8, 9, 10, just on this topic, on buying and selling goods. So if you have joined us today, you understand my lesson, wow, you realize that, hey, you know, I know now when I buy goods, what is my journal entry? Right, when I buy goods, okay, I debit inventory. Okay, then do I use cash to pay or do I use credit to pay? If I use cash, I credit cash at bank. If it's a credit, it means it's a liability. I need to owe the supplier money. I credit my trade payable. Okay, so I hope that today you understand buying and selling of goods. So in this case, it's an O-level, of course, it's slightly more difficult. There's a trade discount and cash discount. So for today's lesson, I'll also go through a little bit of discount. You know, you buy goods, right? Sometimes you buy 2, get 1 free, or you buy 2, then got 10% off, buy 3, got 20% off. So you see there are so many kinds of different discounts. So I'll just go through from my slide. So this extracted from the free notes that I will later send through the Telegram chat. So there are 2 kinds of discount for POA, trade discount and cash discount. That's what we'll learn. So a trade discount is a reduction of the list price, while the cash discount is a reduction of the invoice amount. Okay, I know it sounds a little bit very complicated, but you need to know one thing, okay? Because you see in part B and part C, why do they offer trade discount? Why do they offer cash discount? The reason you offer trade discount is very different from the cash discount. So for trade discount, right, the main reason is to encourage your customer to buy in bulk. That's why you offer them trade discount. So for example, you buy 2, you get 1 free, correct or not? So you buy 1, maybe $50. You buy 2, you sell $100. Then you buy 2, get 1 free. Then your customer think, wow, if I get 1 free, it's like each piece is only $33. So they think they are saving money. But actually, as a business, you are selling more. Instead of selling 1, you are selling 2 or 3, and you are earning more money. Instead of earning $50, you earn $100, correct? So the trade discount is to encourage your customers to buy in bulk. So when they buy more, you'll be happier, correct or not, as a company, as a business. So trade discount is also not recorded in the ledger. This one very important. Later you realize that, hey, I do not record the trade discount. The second discount is your cash discount. So for your cash discount, it's only given to your credit customer. Okay, so trade discount is given to all kinds of customer. As long as you buy more, right, I give you discount. Cash discount is only given to credit customer. So what does it mean? So for example, I got this customer A come to my shop. I sell him $500 worth of goods. This customer pay cash right now. Okay, very good. I receive the cash, then I say bye-bye, then he leave. So you see, he don't have cash discount. Then I got another customer, right? He used a credit card to pay me the goods. So the credit is $500. Then I realized, hey, I want my customer to pay me earlier. To pay me early. I don't want him to pay on credit, then he pay me one month later, right? So in order to encourage my customer to pay me early, I use cash discount. So it's to encourage my customer to pay early. So I said, okay, you pay me within 7 days, I'll give you a discount. You pay me within 14 days, I'll give you a cash discount. And this discount is recorded in the ledger amount. Okay, so there are two kinds of discount. One is to encourage customers to buy in bulk. The second one is a cash discount, is to encourage your customer to pay early. So from these notes, we go back to the question. Okay, number one, we always need to know who is the business. Okay, that's very, very important. So here is the, okay, so Ruth is the business. So the business sell goods to Joel. So Joel is your customer. Then the next question is it a cash transaction or credit transaction? Then we read the question again, and they say it's a credit transaction. So of course, we are still not very sure, when you sell goods, what's the journal, right? We can always refer back to the notes. So I just go up. So this is when you sell goods. So you know that this question is a credit, right? So I put a star here. So we just look at this. So this one we don't need to see for this question. So it's a credit transaction. You receive trade receivable and sales revenue. And there's a cost of sales and an inventory. Okay, so you notice, right, the trade receivable and sales revenue must always come together. $500, $500. It comes as a pair. While the cost of sales and the inventory comes as a pair, $200, $200. It makes sense, right? You earn $500 and then your cost of sales, which is your cost price, is $200. So we go and look at the question. Do they give you this information? Yes, they did. So the price is $3,000. This is the sales price, okay? Sales price. Then this is the cost price. The business allows the customer a trade discount. So I repeat, Ruth sells goods to Joel on credit, and she allows Joel a trade discount on all purchases. So this customer always buy a lot, right? So this customer always buy a lot. I'm very happy. And okay, I give you 5% discount. So remember, trade discount. This is a trade discount. The question is very kind. This question is very, normally they don't tell you it's a trade discount. So for this O-level paper, they tell you it's a trade discount. It is not recorded. Okay, so we calculate again, 5% times 3,000. How much is it? $150. So this $150 is not recorded. You cannot record this discount. So what do you record? Your sales price is 3,000 minus 150. So this is 2,850. And your cost price is 2,001. Okay? So the journal entry will be here. So all this, if you join my lesson, I'll be printing all the notes for you. So you can just refer to it. And then after you'll be able to do the questions more easily. Yeah. So I just show the first part lah. So from here, you sell is 2,850. Correct? Then the cost price is 2,100. This is 4 marks in the exam. Okay, that is for the 3rd of March. So just now I ask you, what can you do? You can buy, right? Then you can sell, correct or not? So now this question is on selling. So after you sell on credit, what must you do? You have to collect money from your customer, what? Correct or not? You sell already, your customer say, okay, I'll pay you later in the future. So now you need to collect money from your customer. So Joel settle his account by bank transfer. You need to collect the money from your customer. So the question say, you will offer a cash discount of 2%. You'll offer a cash discount of 2% if pay with 15 days. So this one, you need to look at the question. You buy on the 3rd of March. You buy on the 14th. The person pay you on 14th. How many days is it? It's about 11 days. So yes, my customer is entitled to the 2% cash discount. So remember, this is the sales price, correct? This is the money that you're supposed to collect from your customer. Okay? So now you need to calculate the cash discount. So for the cash discount is 2% times 2850. Okay? So calculate 2% is $57. So this is cash discount. And cash discount must be recorded. Okay? I repeat, cash discount must be recorded in the journal. So this $57 is here, must be recorded. And cash discount must be recorded in the but the person don't need to pay, right? So how much do the person need to pay? So the price is 2850, you minus 57, that's how much the person need to pay. Yeah, the person need to pay $2,793. So you receive money from your customer, correct or not? So if you receive money from your customer, you receive the money, you debit your cash at bank. You receive money from your customer, then you minus off the trade receivables, Joel. Same thing, how many marks? Wow, this one 4 marks. So total 4 plus 4 is 8 lah. So actually POA is not that difficult after all. You know, I'm just going through, today is only one lesson, correct or not? Just going through an introduction. These are the common questions that will be tested for your mid-year exam, or if not your WA, or even your national exam. And I also see this kind of question in Sec 4 papers. Okay, just because it's a Sec 3 topic, doesn't mean it will not be tested for Sec 4. Okay, for us overmark tutors, right, we always choose what are the questions that always come up for exam. We are very selective. Okay, there's no point for me to teach you 101 questions, then you study 101 questions. That's not efficient at all. We go through what is important. So if you see, I teach you this today and it come out, I'm very surprised that I did not expect this to be out for the 2021, because 2021 is the first new syllabus paper. I really did not expect this to come out. And I still teach my students this because buying goods, selling goods is very important. And it did came out. So those students who I've been teaching over the last 2 years to the 2021, they did quite well for the national exams. So this is the end of the Sec 3 topic. So the next one will be a Sec 4 topic. If you are in Sec 3, you can pay attention because this will be tested for Sec 4. If not, you can just look through it. So the next topic that I'm going to do is the financial statements. Statement of financial performance, statement of financial position. You know, the good thing about POA, right, is like this question is 20 marks. Okay, this question is 20 marks in the exam. And it's always come out in paper 2. So POA got paper 1 and paper 2. And this question always come out in paper 2. So if you know how to do this question, all right, it's usually you can get full marks for it. And even you don't get full marks, you get one mistake, two mistake, you get 18 out of 20, you get 17 out of 20, you still can get A1. Okay? A lot of students, when they see this question, wow, so many information, then they are very shocked, very disheartened. But actually not to worry. Okay? There's a way to do it. I also will have a tip later. I'll show it to you. What are the tips that will always come out? What are the different additional information that will come out? And then from there, will help you in your journey to doing well for your POA. So this is a 2021 O-level paper. You need to prepare the financial performance and financial position of the company. Okay, so let's take a look first. What kind of business is this? It's an advertising agency. So just now I talked about buying, selling of goods, correct? I buy goods, I sell goods. Advertising, can you buy and sell advertising? Cannot, right? So there are some company you cannot buy and sell stuff. Advertising is one of them. So it's like, now what am I doing? I'm teaching you, correct? Not? So if you join my tuition class, I don't sell you anything, correct? I'm not selling, I cannot sell you knowledge, right? It's not like, oh, you receive the knowledge and then you go home very happy. No, you cannot. So teaching is a service business, advertising is service business. So there are other kind of service business, such as, for example, you go to see a doctor. The last 2 years, COVID situation, people sick, get MC, that kind of thing. Yeah, you don't buy the medicine, they don't really sell the medicine. You see a doctor because you are sick, you want to get well. So sometimes the doctor give you medicine. So doctor is, a service business. You go, I don't know, maybe some of you go to the gym, you go to the gym, you don't buy anything from the gym, right? But you pay a certain money fee to the gym, maybe $50 every month, or every time you enter, you pay $5 to enter the gym. And I know, you young kids nowadays, you have like Spotify, right? Spotify, maybe Disney or Netflix. All these are all service business, right? You're not buying anything from them, right? So all these are service business. There are two kinds of businesses, trading business and a service business. So you notice, right? Trading business, I need to sell stuff, correct or not? So I need to sell stuff. So I sell stuff, I got sales revenue. Okay. But a service business, I don't sell anything. So you notice there's only one line here. Okay. The rest are the same. So this one is the same as this one. So that's the only difference between a trading business and a service business. Because trading business, you buy and sell stuff. You got a cost price, you got the selling price, So that's why you have more lines for the first few lines. Okay, so for this question, it's an advertising business. So advertising will be a service business. So it'll be under here. Okay. So for the sake of everyone, I'll just go through like whether is it a non-current asset, current asset, current liability, non-current liability, or capital. Okay. So the first one would be non-current asset, non-current asset. Same thing, non-current asset. So this is an income. Okay. So the Jordan runs an advertising agency. So this is your income. This should be your first line. One line, right? Just now I say one line in the performance. Okay. Then I'm going to use this. This expense, expense, expense. So trade receivable. Remember just now, when you sell goods to your customer on credit, you receive a trade receivable. So that is an asset. Okay, you only receive the money in the future. So this is a current asset, current asset. Trade payable. So trade payable is you need to pay, you owe people money and you need to pay them. So you see, this is payable, correct or not? So it's a liability, you need to pay people money, owe people money, pay people. So it's a liability. Okay. Then cash at bank is an asset. Second one, printing expense is an expense. Income is income. Then the bank loan is non-current liability. And the last one is capital and drawings. Okay, capital and drawing is quite straightforward lah. Huh? Capital and drawings, they are both under equity. So I'll just go through quickly. So for this question is a service business. So we'll be doing the service business. And then we need to do the financial position. So this is how the financial position will look like. All right, so you need, if you are in Sec 3 this year, wow, it may look very complicated, right? But it's not. After a while, you keep doing it, you'll know where the numbers go. Then you notice that you want to find a total asset. So the basic accounting equation applies here. So asset equal to liability plus equity. Correct? So you see your asset is A plus B. So this is your A. You find the total here. You find the total here, then A plus B. Okay? Then after that, you add your liability. So your liability is here, D and E. And then your equity is C. So C plus D. This is your total. So this number must equal to this number. And I do have, students who very stressed. Oh, I cannot balance, I cannot get the same answer. I keep telling my students, it's okay, as long as you've been following my steps, you do whatever I tell you to do, you can get 1 or 2 wrong. If you get 2 wrong, 18 out of 20. 18 out of 20 is how many percent? 90%. It's still an A1. It's a solid A1. All right. So actually, POA is very doable. POA can get A1 and you can do very well under the right guidance. And yeah. So this is the tips on preparing the financial statement. So there's this one page that I'll be printing and I'll give it to all my students on how to prepare all the adjustments. Okay. So these are all the different adjustments that is required. So I'm going to do together to solve all this. Okay, this is I repeat, this is a 20-mark question. Okay. So I give you a few minutes to read through the question again. Jordan runs an advertising agency, and you need to prepare the performance and the position, right or not? So read through. If you are Sec 3, right, all these will not be tested because you won't be learning it yet. But it's okay, you can just listen and then pay attention, and then hopefully when you learn this in Sec 4, then it will be better for you. So the first additional information is depreciation. So depreciation is here, 4 and 5. You need to see. So this is straight line method, okay? So there's a formula here, straight line method. So I go through depreciation is equal to, here 10%, right? So 10% times office equipment, 85,000. So this is 8,500. Okay. So just to recap, depreciation is an expense. So I cannot be explaining all the different accounts. I will definitely explain it during my lesson. There's one whole topic on depreciation, one whole topic on income and expenses. So all these I'll be explaining throughout the whole year. So I'm just doing this. I calculate the depreciation is an expense, 8,500. Okay. This is a 2021 O-level paper. And if you can do this question now, right? Wow, very good. You are ready for your O-level either this year or next year. Even for N-level, right, it's the same thing. The question will be like that. They will have 20 marks and you need to do it. So to me, there's not much difference. There are differences between N-level and O-level, but this question will usually be the same for both standard. Okay. And whatever you learn here, you'll be learning more in-depth for all the different topics. So the second one is the depreciation, same thing, but now use what method? Reducing balance. So you look here, yeah, have reducing balance is here. Okay. So same thing, this depreciation is an expense. 25% times your cost. What's your cost? 40,000 minus your accumulated depreciation, 10,000. You see, these notes, right? It's not inside the textbook. It's not anywhere. I created the note so that my student learning can be much easier. So I calculate 25% times 30,000, 7,500. So I finish 1, I finish 2. Okay, number 3. So this is rent, right? Rent were prepaid. So go to my notes. Rent is here, right? Rent is expense. You prepaid. So what do you do with your prepaid? You minus off your expense. Okay, so for prepaid, you minus off your expense. Your rent is here. So this one minus 750. Okay. Your rent expense is 22,500 minus 750. So 21,750. That is my rent expense. So I have another expense. Printing expense were owing. Owing means you need to pay the person. It's a liability. Okay. So just now I mentioned if it's a liability, it's a payable. So same thing, this is an expense, but it's a payable now. So you need to pay the person liability. So you need to plus. So your printing expense is here. You need to plus 1,800. So there are only two kinds of expense. One is prepaid and one is a payable. Okay. So this is your printing expense. So it's 25,260. I'm done with number 3. Now, you want to calculate the allowance, right? Allowance is 2% of trade receivable. So there is also in my formula, allowance is here, 2% times your trade receivable. So number 5, your allowance is 2% times your trade receivable. Your trade receivable is here, 23250. 465. Okay. So after this, you need to find the impairment loss. Right. So for Sec 3 students, it's okay. You don't understand what is impairment loss. Impairment loss is an expense. It is the loss where, when people cannot pay you money already, right? Then you need to record a loss. Okay. So for business, when you do business, all right, there will always be customers who cannot pay you. It's the same thing. I'm a teacher. I walk into a class, I got 40 students. Never in my 10 years, if I walk in and all 40 submit their homework to it, never. Right? I don't know about you. Right? It's quite simple, right? You give homework, your teacher give you homework. Okay, class, do this question to this question, submit tomorrow or submit next week. All right. So usually 1 or 2, a small percentage will not submit their homework. So same thing, when you do business, you have a lot of customers. Maybe you have 40 customers or 100 customers. Then there are some customers who will never pay you. So you need to create this. So this is a 2%. So how do you find your impairment loss? Impairment loss is here. So the business need to record as expense because you cannot receive the money. So ending allowance minus beginning allowance plus write-off. In this question, there's no write-off, so I'll just ignore it for now. So your allowance here is 465 minus your beginning. Your beginning is here. Minus 195. So this is an expense, okay? You cannot receive this money. You need to record it as an expense. So it's 270. Now we do this advertising fee. Number 5. Okay, receive in advance. So you go to my notes. Have or not? Income, receive in advance. Have. So you need to minus your income, right? So income, receive in advance, you need to minus it off. So your advertising here, you need to minus 12,700. Okay. Number 7, advertising fee revenue. Remember, advertising fee revenue is an income because you earn money through advertising. Like Facebook, now they have a lot of advertisement. So 186,750 minus 12,700. So it's 174,050. So this is one line. Remember, it's one line. All right, then next one. So the general expense include the personal travel expense. So when the owner take out money from the business, what is it called? It's recorded as drawings. Okay. So the owner and the business are two different entities. I know the owner controls the business, but they are not the same thing. All right. So to give you a further explanation on that, the famous company Apple, you use their iPhone, their AirPod, their iPad, correct or not? So the owner of the company was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was the owner, and then he was a manager and director of the company. Then he died. So when he died, do you think the company also died? No. So the company still exists. So the company and the owner is always two different entities. Okay, that's how you separate them apart. So when the owner take out money from the business, it's recorded as drawing. So this is recorded as drawing. So your drawing, you need to plus 950. Then your general expenses, you need to minus 950. So your general expense should not be recorded there. It should be recorded in drawings. Because the owner take out, it's not an expense. So 1,000, 12,350 minus 950, 11,400. Then there was drawings, correct? So drawings, 19,500 plus 950. Okay, so this 20,450. Last one. So you need to pay interest. So interest, yeah. There, interest. So you need to pay interest, right? So for example, your bank loan, how much you need to pay, how much interest? How much is the loan? The loan is 15,000. How much is the interest? Is recorded here. Okay, so number 10, interest expense is 4% times 15,000. $600. Then down here they say not been paid. Means we haven't paid yet, what? Correct or not? We haven't paid is a payable. So there's one more, interest expense payable. is $600. So this is a liability. You owe people money, you need to pay them money. Correct now? You owe the bank money, you need to pay the bank money. So you notice, right, there are so many different kind of information, and all these you'll be learning throughout in Sec 3 all the way to Sec 4. So for example, depreciation is like one whole chapter on its own. You'll take about 3 weeks to 1 month to study one chapter. Income and expense also take about 1 month to study that chapter. And you notice that all these are a little bit more difficult than what we have gone through earlier, where you just buy and sell goods, correct or not? So I was trying to make the class simple. I'm trying to tell you what is the important thing. And all business buy and sell goods. So that is something that you must know, right? Then after that, we have different kind of expenses. We have different kind of scenario where we need to record the adjustments, and you'll be learning it like one chapter by one chapter all the way to your Sec 4. So for this question, if you want to try it, the O-level people, go ahead and try it. Then if you are in Sec 4, you can lah. Sec 3, you don't try first, can? So the performance will look something like here, where it is a service business. So in this case, got all these, there's only commission income, right, for this question, and the advertising income. Then the rest are all expenses. You see depreciation, interest on loan, impairment loss. Yeah, all these will be tested because it's very common. You'll always be tested. So at the end of the day, we want to know how much is the profit for the business, and then you record the profit. Okay, so your revenue plus your income minus your expenses. Then of course, you need to prepare your financial position. So this is how your financial position will look like. So during my lesson, if you're not very sure, I can guide you through. I can help you how to record the accounts or the different elements. So we have done this question. It's 20 marks. And it's 20 marks. So I finished both topics today. The first part was double entry, chapter 4, and this is chapter 5, financial statement. These two topics are very common, always usually tested for exams and even WA. So this is just some of the things that I have. I've been a teacher for 10 years already. A lot of my students say that, okay, like POA can be tough, and then I try to make things simple, and I always put in the effort to make sure that my students do well. I do achieve quite a high distinction rate in schools. So if you really want to get that A for POA, then do come and find me. I'll support you in that area. So this is me. I'm Victor. Yeah, I'm from Overmark. So it's a learning platform. Okay, for this year onwards, I will no longer be giving one-to-one private tuition because I'm fully packed. So only group tuition available. So if you want to know more, feel free, you can text me. Okay, my number is here 82220 or you can text me via Telegram. So for the POA curated notes, I'm still doing it. Hope to finish it by May or end June. So once it's done, I will send it and give to all my students who are under me. So in the notes, it will be highly condensed booklet lah. You realize that the textbook is like 200 over pages, right? I will summarize it down maybe 50 or less, and then hopefully it's really very condensed and will help you in your learning. Then you don't have to remember so much stuff, correct or not? You don't have to remember so much. Just study the key points, know what is going to be tested, and then you're good to go. Okay, so we also offer crash courses for other subjects. These are all the different O-level subjects. So any questions, feel free to ask me. Oh yeah, I was at BTPS, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Oh, will I send the slides? Yes, I can send the slide. I will download and send it you for today. Okay, any more questions? Okay, if any questions, you can just PM me lah. So that's the end for today's session. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a good weekend ahead. Okay, enjoy your holiday. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. So please share with your friends. We are here to help you. Yeah, I will. I will send you the slides that I'm going through. I will download this slide and then I'll send to you all later in the main group chat, including with the notes that I've created for you all. Okay, thank you everyone. Now I'll end the session today.